Hello. What did you remember? Until now, I thought about our sermon in the internet worship service. The pastor is different person today, so maybe main pastor just to allow the other lower position pastor preach the sermon. And actually, he doesn't have many experience among many people, so I didn't know his face, and actually, this pastor is not famous. That's why maybe I'm sorry mentioned like that. I feel little not interested with him, so I didn't focus on his sermon and didn't participate very well in today's worship service. And just the time passed. Later then, I realized his sermon is so powerful because his, story in the sermon is very impressed. He mentioned about some episode. He just ran his small church, a very plain building, and a few people gathered together in the worship service, and but one person just to look at outside of the window, so this pastor didn't know why. He looked out a lot of time. Later then he just disappeared. He realized that this man doesn't want to come to small church because they have a lot of burden to serve the small ministry. But he didn't disappointed the pastor because he realized three people never depart from him. Who are they? It's Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ is God. They comfort this pastor a lot, so he got many energy from him. So I feel very great and very, I'm sorry because he is not famous pastor, so I didn't interest him very much at the first time. But time passed, I realized he's a very valuable person and his speech have a many meaningful message. So I realized I have to humble in front of the many speecher and then want to learn a lot from them. And small church is very beautiful. Their ministry is very wonderful in God's view. Even if their sizes are different, small and big, it doesn't matter inside of the God's view, right? That is a human's view. Just we think about the size, but God doesn't care about the church's size. He just focus on the worshiper's mind. I'm gonna read Corinthians 4th. So verse 11. For no one can lay any other foundation than the one we already have, Jesus Christ. Now anyone who builds on that foundation may be use gold, silver, jewel, wood, hay, or straw, but there is going to come a time of testing at the judgment day to see what kind of work each builder has done. Everyone's work will be put through the fire to see whether or not it keeps its value. If the work survives the fire, the builders will receive the reward. But if the work is burned off, the builders will suffer great loss. The builders themselves will be saved, but like someone escaping through the whirl of flame. Don't you realize that all of you together are the temple of God and that the Spirit of God lives in you? God will bring ruin upon anyone who ruins this temple, for God's temple is holy, and your Christians are that temple. Stop foolishing yourselves. If you think you are wise by this world's standard, you will have to become a fool so you can become wise by God's standard. Wow. We should think about the God's standard. That is the most important thing. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness to God. And the scriptures say, God catches those who think they are wise is their own cleverness. And again, the Lord knows the thought of the wise, that they are worthless. So don't take pride in the following a particular reader. Everything belongs to you. Paul and Apollos and Peter's, the whole world and life and the death, the present and the future. Everything belongs to you, and you belong to Christ, and Christ belongs to God. Paul and the Corinthians. So look at Apollos and me as more servants of the Christ who have been put in charge of explaining God's secret. Now a person who is put in charge as a manager must be faithful. What about me? Have I been faithful? Well, it matters very little that what you or anyone else think. I don't even trust my own judgment on this point. My conscience is clear, but isn't what matter. It is the Lord Himself who will examine me and decide. 18 is very good. Stop foolishing yourselves. If you think you are wise by this world's standards, you will have to become a fool. So you can become wise by God's standard. I like this expression. If you think human is very big, but God becomes smaller. But if you think God is very big in your mind, people become very smaller. So what is the most important thing in your view? That's the most important value of things. Bye-bye.